Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm going to be featuring the Bourgogne, the legendary tier French battleship. I have played quite a few games in this ship, however, I did notice that in order to do well, at least for me, I was heavily reliant on Azurlane Dunkirk and her special skill Frontal Fire, which essentially is the ability to, which you just saw there, switch my shell type from AP to HE or HE to AP in basically 1 second. Having these small caliber guns for a battleship at legendary tier, which is 380 millimeters, you aren't really capable of overmatching any of the heavy cruisers, especially ships like Alaska where they have a 32 millimeter bow, and then ships like Des Moines with a 27 millimeter bow and casemate. You basically won't really find yourself overmatching them, so switching to HE is extremely important. Now, obviously, having 380 millimeter guns isn't the end of the world because, well, you do have 12 of them. You also have access to a main battery reload booster and an engine boost, which can be used to push flanks and really get use out of your 380 millimeter guns. However, not having frontal fire, you will have to work and basically find your own crossfires. Basically, what I did here with this Prince Rupert pushing into the middle of the map, you can shoot out towards the flanks and typically find battleships that are broadside to you. I get a double citadel on this Prince Rupert, and well, his engine is out, and unfortunately, I was assuming he would damage con it and then start accelerating again. However, he basically didn't and was dead in the water, so I overled a little bit. But as you can see, this ship can definitely punch the broadsides of enemy ships, since it is a battleship having 380 millimeter guns. Even though it is a relatively low caliber for the tier, it does still have some benefits. One of the benefits of having these lower caliber main battery guns is the fact that it requires less armor in order to arm the AP shells, which means you are less likely to overpen cruisers, and well, you're more likely to citadel them. Obviously, a minnow is probably a bad example, but really all you need is 63 millimeters of effective plating in order to arm your armor piercing shells, whereas a ship like Yamato will need somewhere around 76 millimeters. So you can definitely find yourself citadeling some of those light cruisers, where usually with those 406s or even higher caliber guns, you will find yourself overpenning. Going back to the game, we're about 3.5 minutes in, and well, we have 135,000 damage, and we also have 3 kills. Moving over to this right flank, we do know that there is an enemy Minotaur and an enemy Alaska that is remaining as their cruisers, which they were both last spotted over here at Charlie. Coming in from the middle, I know that we've been unspotted for a decent amount of time, so we could potentially ambush them. And, well, lo and behold, we find the enemy minnow, who is pretty much sailing broadside to us, and we do end up dev striking our second Minotaur of the game. Now this Alaska, after we do get spotted, decides to angle towards us and go broadside to 3 of our teammates, which is honestly not very good for his health as he just gets absolutely melted. That's a little unfortunate for us because that could have potentially been our Kraken if he simply angled to most of our team. I honestly see that so often where one ship will angle to another ship and then sail broadside to an entire enemy team just to angle to the one ship, just like you saw there. But in truth, he was dead either way. He just chose the quicker way out. This enemy conqueror that was reversing Bowen in their spawn is also getting absolutely melted, and well, unfortunately, now our only hope for a Kraken is on the other side of the map. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward it here just to save some time, since all we're really going to do is cap this objective and then head to the other side in order to try and find some enemy ships to shoot at. Now, I will say the Bourgogne is definitely a fun ship to play. However, I do still think there are other ships that are just simply better. Like the Conqueror, for example, you can honestly play that with one brain cell and do extremely well, simply just shooting HE the entire time. The Bourgogne does honestly take a little more effort in trying to have these good games with your positioning and finding those crossfires. But like I said, if you do have a Zerling Dunkirk, it makes it so much easier because you can switch between your AP and HE shells in order to essentially have the right ammunition type for every single situation whenever it arises, especially at these higher tiers where you do find a lot of players basically sitting about in their battleships and just simply reversing in their spawn. Having frontal fire allows you to switch to HE extremely quickly, and if they do decide to turn out and run away, you can quickly switch back to armor piercing. 175,000 damage and 3,500 base XP. One of my better performances in terms of XP. I've had some games over 200k, although the XP definitely wasn't that high, and most of them were actually losses. Now, for my build, as my inspirations, I did end up using Kedrov for some turret traverse and Scharnhorst to help with that French dispersion. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, or leave a comment down below for any other ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.